trust in me, and you will find. And time goes by so naturally while you receive infinity.
Okay, Libra, this is going to be your spirituality reading for the month of March and into April. So we're going to get moving here with the first card from the Gaia Tarot deck, Dreams of Gaia Tarot deck. The first card for you, Libra, is 18 Thought. Okay. We could be in our head at this time, right? Thinking about pondering things is what they said. So there's a lot going on in our mind right now. The happy, sad masks kind of makes me think that we're weighing up our positive and negative sides of our life here and trying to figure out and suss out these things so that we see them clearly so we can go forward clearly on our path. I get that clarity is very much the utmost importance at this time. So I think, there's a lot of planning here in order to suss out the positive from negative as we go forward, which is really good. And that's, that's very well ingrained in the Libra sign. So let's move into the next card, shall we? So the next card for Libra, we get 9, the Knowledge card. And that hand is floating back to our thoughts. So we are considering, with our wisdom here, all that is going on around us. I feel like there's a high sensitivity within the Libra to, they're giving me the word function. It's like within their energy stream of stuff that's hitting them, they want to make sure they know what's right and wrong. And again, go forward cleanly so that we're not tricked or, in any or under any illusions at this time. This is what I'm getting. And they're searching all the databases, knowledge, intellect, emotional, all of it. They're sussing it all out and trying to make sure that they are doing the right thing at this time. That's what I'm getting. And there may be knowledge coming in from higher wisdom, meaning a higher instinct is what I meant to say, bringing them wisdom and helping them move forward in this way. They may be well tapped into this energy field. Okay, meaning God, Christ consciousness, whatever it is, the higher power that you go to, using that as a resource to gain, to also not only from our own physical, mental, emotional thoughts, but also from the instinctive area, we're pulling as much as we can there. And you just, what do you say, that crunching numbers kind of thing is the sense that I'm getting. It's the only word I can put to it. It's kind of like floating everything through and making sure that we've got a firm grip of where we're at and where we want to go. Okay, which is all good. It's good. So the third card as we move into the future is the 6 of Water. This is always an energy to me of offering our love outward. And it comes from a genuine place is the sense. So we may have someone in our field here either come to us in this kind of way, or we go find someone to go outward in this way. Now, the energy field I'm picking up on, I feel like we're very much in our head. So if we're going outward, I'm not sure that we're in our clarity as of yet, but this is in the future. So we may, what's the word? We may crunch all our numbers and figure out, I know exactly where I want to go. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know the people around me. I know what their intentions are, and I see that clearly, blah, 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 right? We may find someone outside of us that we want to honestly offer our heart to, or we could be just offering our love outward to others, or this could be coming in the same way to us, okay? It could go either way, depending. Okay, now we're going to get into the second row here with the chakra wisdom card. So on top of the thought card, again, a lot of stuff going over in our head, which is good because it's kind of like a guidepost, right? Are we doing the right thing? Are people outside of us doing the right thing? Do we have it figured out, or are we delusional? I feel like the internal resonance here, like, yeah, this energy, they keep putting me to that energy report I'm going to do after the readings here, and to kind of explain everything, because even myself, I get thrown by internal energetic frequencies. It may not be anything particularly on the physical earth that's throwing us, but I'll tell you, when I was shuffling, the cards were kind of not, I couldn't grab them, I couldn't, like, they were messing up, and it was kind of frustrating, but I was dealing with it okay. And again, this is not about my energy. This is about energy of the Libras that's in that field. They have enough patience to deal with certain things, but there is turbulence, no less. And they're kind of trying to get on top of that, but very unaware of how exactly to do it, other than to go inside, clarify that they're on the right path, get grounded with that, and then move forward. And I feel like that's what they're doing. So the chakra card on top of the thoughts again. The Five of Wands, yeah. And isn't that interesting? Because we may not be coming to such great conclusions in our thought process. We may have conflict up in there in a certain amount of areas. I think we're going to settle what we can settle, but there's still going to be conflictive energies. Why? Because the universal energies are in conflict no matter. So on the earth plane, there's just too much conflict for us to not notice that on a subtler energy field, right? Those that are tapped into their instinct are going to feel it highly. And I feel like, well, the message they're giving me is, don't take it personally. It's not us personally. It is a reflection of earth energies that we're dealing with. And yes, we are being trained to go deeper into fields and whatnot, but we will soon realize as we go through our own field, those things we're in conflict with and those that we are not, that it is not us. It is something outside of us. And then again, we will, strive to go down the adventure road to find out what that is as well. Not right away, but in the future processes, our processors are taking on more information, and because of this, right? And I feel like we're going to be, for the next, probably into the summer season, we're probably going to be in somewhat of an uncomfortable energy, because we really won't be able to settle into that feeling of comfort that we've got it all figured out until then. And again, don't take it personally is what they're saying to you, because it is not just our own energy field. It is a lot of influx energy that's coming at us. So someone here on deeper levels feeling all of this and kind of, it's annoying, right? It's not balanced energy, so it's very off-putting. And so here we go. So the Five of Wands is about conflict. It's on the thought card, so it's projecting our thoughts are in conflict about certain things, and again, it's there so that we can create the balance there. So there's going to be conflictive until we figure out from an internal sense. And again, there might be some energetic fields we just can't conquer, so they're going, just release it and have faith that we'll figure it out in the future. And again, universal energies are not conducive to solving these things, or how did you say, to that feeling, because I feel like the Libra wants to feel settled. They want to feel grounded. They want to feel secure in that feeling like, yeah, I got it right. And we're not going to quite feel that until midsummer is what they're giving me. Okay. So again, time and space is kind of fuzzy for me. So that could be a little earlier, could be a little later, but it's trying to nail down Jello. It's hard. Sometimes you go, yeah, I feel it's in the summer, but then it morphs or it changes, right? So yeah, the Five of Wands. There's conflictive energy in our thought processes. As we move to the knowledge card down the center, this is what we're dealing with right now. I feel like we're trying to deal with our logical sense, make what's the word? Common sense decisions in order to fix this uneasiness we feel. On top of that, we get the King of Wands. And he's the king of action. He makes things happen. He goes out and gets what he wants and that kind of thing. Now, if there is something that we are wanting in the physical world or whatever, and I'm getting actually a job here, if there's something we're wanting to go out and get, we're going to go out and get it. We've got our mind set on it right now. There may be something here that we haven't taken action on as of yet, but we have, like, we're trying to manifest in our mind a good outcome here, or we have a good direction of a job that we're going to go after. I feel like no action's been taken at this time. Now, it may be because we have a job at present and we're going to wait until things die down at this job or what have you. But there's a little bit of or we're waiting for a seasonal shift, which would be a great idea. Because again, the equinox is going to bring fresh energy. Not quite, anti-chaos, but it's going to bring it down a couple notches and cut a few of our lower frequency energies off. So look forward to that. And the King of Wands, I feel like when we're ready to take action, we're going to take it. I don't feel we're doing it right now, but anything could happen here is the sense I'm getting. Okay, as we move into the Six of Water here, on top of that, again, giving love outward or that's incoming. On top of that, we get the Hanged Woman. Okay, yeah. Okay, that was the energy I was feeling because I was like, well, this doesn't match the energy field they're in with all this stuff going on in their head. They're really focused. All their energy is going into one place. So in order to give love outward, there has to be more of a compassionate center. And I wasn't feeling that. And this Hangman is saying, yeah, we're going to give love outward, but we're not, there's going to be a pause here. And usually when I talk about future energies within the reading, that can go from anywhere from 2 months to 6 months down the road. And they want me to tell you as well that when you first hear my reading, like say you catch my reading as soon as it comes out, and then it kind of does or doesn't, it resonates enough that you can resonate, but it's not, you don't feel grounded in it. Give it a week or two for that energy to kick in. Because it is somewhat predictive, right? Because I don't want to be right on top of the energy and then I put them out and everybody's gone through this. So there is a little bubble of time that can go through here before we really resonate it from the right perspective. So take that into account. Now, for all the intellectuals, right? So there will be a hang time here or a removing of ourselves from giving love outward. Maybe we are a very loving person and we're taking a time out to make sure we got all our checks and balances in the right place, that we're giving in a balanced way and getting in a balanced way. This kind of thing. I feel like there's nowhere our mind is not going to try and make sure that we go forward in the right way. And the bottom line here is, I feel in the love area of picking and choosing the right people to lay our love on, basically. It's like, who am I gonna, and am I gonna be wasting my energy here, or am I gonna be flourishing here? Am I gonna learn from this, or am I gonna be taken from? This kind of thing. This is very much on the mind of the Libra, which is it's great and wonderful. But in the future, I do feel we have a hang time before we can give our love outward, or before anything, we let anything in a more solid, grounded way of acceptance. We could bring things in, but we may not want to accept them fully, is the sense. Okay, as we go forward to the third row, it's very wordy here, but they're going, that's okay. I'm connecting to an intellectual here, and they'll understand it. Five of Wands, again, there might be some conflict in everything that we're getting from our mindset and trying to put together. On top of that card, we get number 6, the Cosmic Womb, the Divine Feminine. Yeah. So you may be a Divine Feminine, or you may be tapping into Divine Feminine energy, which signals to me the word compassion came out first and foremost. we may be trying to live our life with more compassion, be more compassionate and caring as we go outward to others. Again, in the right places where it's not taken for granted or not abused or not, this kind of thing. I think we're being very, there's a very, there's trepidation as to going outward and giving our love outward. I feel we don't feel secure and balanced. That's why we're up in our head trying to make sense of things, right? We may have conflictive energy about a love interest and trying to balance that out. And again, the higher wisdom would say, the higher guides would say, come from your compassion, you'll never be sorry. Okay? As we move forward. Okay. It's only when we go outside of that we can sometimes feel regret for decisions or, we may be at this time sussing out the good and bad people in our life and deciding who we want to spend time with, who we don't. And again, they're going, do this with compassion. Don't just kick people to the curb and say, get out of my, I don't want to try and do it with some compassion. We won't be sorry in that way. Okay. Now, on top of the King of Wands here, as we get into the present, there's a lot of knowledge that is being imparted to us instinctively. There's a lot of knowledge we've gained, wisdom we've gained from real life circumstances. This is all going on in our mindset to help us go forward. Now, the shaman card that we get there is the root girl, the disowned self. Yeah, and I am getting that grounding sense. Like, again, these cards have specific meanings. I throw the book out and I go with my guides. So you may wonder why. Well, that's not the meaning of the card. It's because I don't go by the meaning of the card. I go by the energy that I get when it's drawn. And the energy they're giving me is we are trying to ground out in our, trying to have that steel, spine, and know what's right and wrong for us so that it can be a smooth way forward. This is what I'm getting. And I feel like the disowned self is in reverse. I feel like we're not trying to run away from it. I think we're trying to own ourselves. I think we're trying to get to know ourselves on a deeper level. Libras, they know themselves. They know their nature, but they're trying to create that barrier outside of them more strongly. They're trying to say, you know what, I've let too many people in that don't match what I want. I've been too accepting of people in this way. Now, there's nothing wrong with being accepting, but if we have people that are abusing our energy or taking from us without giving back equally, these are things we need to kind of wash away from, right? Again, not like we have to create chaos to do it, but and I think the Libra does know that overall. But it's a way of trying to do it eloquently in a way that is easy to hear and easy to take, this kind of thing. So I feel like the root girl is you trying to ground out in the self and figure out exactly where your parameters are and start laying them outward. I feel like that's what it is. You're trying to root yourself in your belief, your belief systems, what you will put up with and won't put, all of this. So grand, they're showing me a person standing there and then a little fence being put around them. It's like what we'll let in and what we won't. This is what I'm getting. Okay. So as we move into the future, again, love offerings. There may be some coming in. I feel like I don't know if it's conducive to the proper manner of starting something here, but I do feel there's a hang time, and I do feel it's coming from the Libra until they figure out their mental mindset where they want to go with things. And there's certain people offering love to us, and I think we need to take our checks and balances and make sure if it's something we want to go in 100%. And if it's not, then we want to back out 100% and not have that conflict in our life as we go forward. So on top of the Hang Woman card, the Shaman card we get is, in the hand of the universe is your partner. 31, 3 and 1 is 4. Okay. Yeah, you are highly guided. You are highly listening. You're highly aware. We're mindful. This is all going through the field. So there's no way we can really make a mistake here. The only thing we can do is go in a way a little too far. And how do you say? Yeah, there's no mistakes ultimately, right? Wherever we feel driven to go, it may be driven for a lesson based reason, or it may be driven for a reason for you to understand more clearly, which would also be like a lesson as well. And I feel like most of these Libras that I'm picking up the field on, they're highly connected. Highly connected. And the reason that they're taking a step back is because there are some boundaries here that are being infiltrated, if you will. And these people need to be talked to. And I feel like the Libra will find the grace and dignity to do that as they go forward. It's just a matter of them stepping back long enough and going, okay, how am I going to word this? How am I going to say this? So that, again, it's received well and it's drawn out well. Like, how do I project it to them to get results, to make sure I'm heard, and also to make sure that what I want is what they want, and to not be offensive with that, right? A lot of that energy coming through. Okay, so there's your reading overall. We'll go into the animal, divine animal sector here and see what they have to say. And the card I get for you there, Libra, is the dolphin. Yeah. And that's super light energy. And if I could live with the dolphins, I really would, because that's just, it's super high vibrational stuff. They're just happy about everything, and that you can't go wrong with that. And I feel like that's what we're looking for. We're looking for our happy place, and we're trying to suss out who will or won't make that happen with us, right? We want to be happy. We don't want people dragging us down again. And, some people may perceive, cutting people out and whatnot as a bad thing, but sometimes we got to think bigger picture here, because sometimes if we don't cut people out on certain levels here, or refuse to deal, or say that doesn't wash with me, until that point, that person may not have ever gotten that message in their life. Like, I don't know. I always think to my son when I think about talking and communicating and whatnot, because I've learned the most from him, actually, right? When you have children, they just say things out and you go, well, I'm not going to tolerate that, like say they swearing at their mom, right? You go, like, look, I hear you saying it, but you got to respect your mom and not say that in a vulgar manner. You want to talk like that with your buddies, you go ahead, but I demand that you don't talk to me like that, blah, blah, blah. Setting that boundary. And in a sense, that's a vulgar example, but in a sense, it's like this. It's like we are now fine-tuning the characters outside of ourselves, where we're not going to go in these areas where we're compromised, okay? There. And happiness has a lot to do with it. We don't, if something's bringing us down, we don't want to go there, right? The Libra is all about light and love, and let's get on with it and be happy. If you're dragging me down, man, don't waste my vibe. Like, I just don't want it. This is what I'm getting. Yeah. So happiness is a big part of the whole deal here, and that is really what they're focused on and what they're trying to, in their mindset, figure out so that they can go forward in this way. So there you go. For the zodiac card here, the planetary aspect, what do we get for Libra? We got the moon in Scorpio, 20, transformation, a change in your emotional life. Okay, this is interesting because there's a lot coming here. There may still be some, sorry, bad news. There may still be some illusions as we go forward. Again, I feel like that's not going to clear up until summer, midsummer here. But I feel we're on the right track, putting up boundaries, making happiness a priority. This is all good in the flow. And also listening to our instinct along the way, because I feel like the Libra is tapping in quite frequently. If we don't have a spirituality pattern, I feel like we are inadvertently doing so. We are tapping into these energies to check where am I? How am I doing? You know, if not going right into a meditation and picking up whatever comes, right? This kind of thing. Now, your emotional life as you go forward here, there is going to be some changes. And I feel like someone's coming in, or we're going to be attracted to someone outside of us, this kind of thing. And there's a transformation we're in and amongst. And again, I feel like I'm meeting, but I feel like it's on pause. Is it universe? I feel like it's more driven by the Libra than anything. But I do feel when the time comes that the universe will get our butt in gear and really feed us with that energy of wanting to go outward when we need to. So if we feel like we're going to miss out on things because we're kind of introverting at this time, this is not the sense. This is productive time. This is something that is needed before we progress into this new relationship, wherever it may sit, okay? Or of offerings, love outward. If we just don't feel like doing it, go with that. Means we need more work on the inside in order to really be able to give that more purely on the outside to anyone. And there's an awareness of this from the Libra. Okay, I'm getting deep. But again, Moon in Scorpio, that is deep. And there will be some things that we will have to figure out over time. And I feel like this is all stuff we're well aware of. So we're on the right track. We're on the right, everything's in line here. We will figure it out. It's just not in this moment. There's still some things that are, up in the air. But the more that we focus on it, the more the answers will come to be. And the more grounded we will feel as we carry on. So yeah, happiness and the Moon in Scorpio, transformation. It's all good, Libra. That is your spirituality reading for the month of March and into April. So take care, have fun, and be kind. And we will talk to you next month.